Welcome to Triad MLS online training. This video gives instruction on how to enter and edit residential new construction using the proposed construction status. Included is a review of MLS terminology as it relates to residential new construction, a review of Triad MLS rules related to marketing residential new construction, step-by-step instructions for entering listings in the PC status, how to edit those listings, how to move a proposed construction listing to pending, then move that PC pending to closed. As a marketing agent of a residential new construction here in the Triad, you may refer to a listing agreement as a blanket or master listing agreement, and these are typically used for marketing more than one parcel of new construction. For example, you are the marketing agent of an entire new subdivision. Blanket or master listing agreements are allowed. Active status. A valid listing agreement exists between the listing broker and the seller, and this listing is available for sale. A list price has been established. No offer, with or without contingencies, has been accepted. Proposed construction, PC. Only to be used for residential new construction with a valid listing agreement or marketing agreement, and a list price has not yet been established. There are no offers with or without contingencies, and the certificate of occupancy has not been issued. Mandatory data fields. These are the data fields in yellow, indicating that they must be completed before the listing can be submitted. Pre-sale. Pre-sale is only to be used in conjunction with proposed construction. The builder, developer, and the buyer have executed an offer to purchase and contract before the listing is in the active status. Here are some very important rules to remember when marketing residential new construction. NAR Ethics, the North Carolina Real Estate Commission license law, and Triad MLS rules apply to all listings when an executed listing agreement is required. Those blanket listing agreements between the listing firm and subdivision developers and/or builders are allowed. Residential is a mandatory property type for all users of Triad MLS, and that does include residential new construction. Built information is a mandatory data field. Selecting new only for brand new construction. All residential new construction listings with a valid listing agreement or marketing agreement must follow NAR's Clear Cooperation Policy and Triad MLS Rules Section 1.0 Listing Procedures. Triad MLS rules also state that the status must be changed within 2 business days of an executed offer to purchase and contract. And pre-sale is the data field that can only be used, again, in conjunction with the proposed construction status. Triad MLS rules also state that the status must be changed to closed within 3 business days of closing, the date the new deed was recorded at the courthouse. To be very clear on the question of when must residential new construction be in matrix in an active status, has the builder determined a list price? If yes, that listing must be in matrix as an active listing. When must this be in the matrix system as active? Within 1 calendar day after the latter of the effective date or the marketing date of the listing agreement. For complete instructions on how to enter and edit active listings in the matrix system, use the Matrix Help, open training videos and user guides, and you'll find this link to entering and editing listings. When should proposed construction status be used? The builder developer has not established a list price. The CO, Certificate of Occupancy, has not been issued. This status can be used for multiple scenarios when marketing residential new construction. Perhaps you have listed a brand new residential subdivision. All that would be required is one entry, but you can have multiple entries. Spec homes and build-to-suit listings are great examples of using the proposed construction status. Whatever the residential new construction situation, please remember, when you're using proposed construction, you only have one calendar day from the first public marketing by the listing agent and/or listing firm to have at least one entry in matrix in the proposed construction status. To enter or edit listings, use Add Edit, found at the top of the matrix responsive menu bar. For those Tried MLS members who have been given the ability to enter and edit listings, this Input Listings Add New will appear. It is the broker in charge of every office that determines who will have permission to enter and edit listings. Assistants may need to be set up with teams before they have this permission level. If you do not see Input Listings, please talk with the broker in charge of your office. To enter a new listing, select Add New. Proposed construction is only available for residential. There are three options to begin the entry process. Fill with cross property, fill from real as tax, and both are discussed in the Add Edit instructions for active listings. For new construction, start with blank is advised. The first tab of information is called Subtype Built Information. This is where it will be established if this listing will be in the active, coming soon, no show, or proposed construction status. As seen here with the selection yes, is this proposed construction? Built information. New is always the correct selection for residential new construction. Next, subtype. If the new construction is being built on site, always select Stick Site Built. Then make the appropriate structure type selection. Year built, another mandatory field requiring the year the construction begins. Completion date is not mandatory and only advised to use if the builder is 100% certain when the project will be complete and ready for the CO to be issued. The next tab of information, location and legal. Notice the yellow fields. These are those mandatory fields you must complete before the system will accept any listing. When entering a proposed construction listing, there are fewer mandatory fields than when entering a listing as active or coming soon, no show. Please complete as much information as possible at this point. A tip to remember, the more information the better for your marketing. One of the reasons Tried MLS recommends on new construction to use fill from blank is because the tax department as well as our Tried MLS data dictionary may not yet be aware of the street information and tax ID information. This is a critical step when using fill from blank. Select Auto Fill from Street Dictionary. Look the street up by the street name, street type, and select the county that the property is located in. Now run the search. If the street name is in our dictionary, it will appear, but if that name is not, you will need to submit a request to have that information added in Matrix by using Help, open Tried MLS Forms, and select the Tried MLS Pick List Request Form. This is the only way to have new street names and new subdivisions added to the dictionary. With the street name located, use fill. Just another reminder, any data fields that are yellow must be complete. Fewer mandatory fields at this point, but it is encouraged that you complete as much information as you have at this time. Another mandatory step for all PC listings as well as active and coming soon no show, you must use Set Lat Long manually. With the street information complete, the map will move to the general location of the property. Changing the map view to the satellite image may be very helpful in locating the parcel you have listed. The goal is to locate the correct parcel and click on that parcel. If you've identified the correct name, property owner, you are ready to select Done. But if you have not, you will continue clicking or touching parcels until you have found the property listed. And as the selection tip states on the screen, you can drag the blue pin to fine-tune its position. Then use Place New Pin. Please don't forget to select Done when the pin is on the correct parcel. This exercise will insert the correct latitude and longitude numbers, mapping your property not only correctly in the matrix system, but also on websites and third-party marketing sites. Here is a huge tip to remember. Save as you go. After completing one tab of data, use Save as Incomplete. By using this feature, if you experience a power or internet interruption, you will not have lost all of your hard work. Listings that are in the incomplete or incoming status can be held there for a maximum of 14 days. Use Continue Editing to move back to the data entry fields. Now let's take a look at this tab of data, only seen when proposed construction is set to yes. New construction specifics. New construction type. There are two choices. 1. To be constructed simply means the construction has not started. Choice 2. Under construction. For this selection, the building permit must have been issued and construction is either underway or will be shortly, and the lot is no longer available. Build options. Build options has 4 selection choices. Buyer can bring the builder. There are multiple builders in this neighborhood. The owner of the lot or acreage tract is the builder. And the last selection, this is a single builder neighborhood. While estimated price range, not mandatory, it is so important. Please use this field to not only let other users of Triad MLS know the price points for this new construction, but also consumers need to know this information. At this point, the pre-sale new construction is set by default to no. We'll come back to pre-sale shortly. List agent office. This is the information about you and your firm. This is also the information that's required to disclose about the list type and agency type, as well as the compensation being offered to all cooperating firms. As you are seeing, there are very few mandatory fields at this time. Complete what you have and what you know. The more information agents and consumers have, the better for your marketing. Information remarks. Directions is mandatory. Public remarks. Use this section wisely. Be very descriptive about this proposed construction. And if there are any remarks that you wish for only other Triad MLS users to view, set agent-only remarks to yes and use that text field. If there's a homeowners association, please include that on all proposed construction listings. Syndication options, mandatory, and the values here must match your listing or marketing agreement. If you have any questions about syndication, please discuss with the broker in charge of your office. At any point during the data entry process, especially here on this last tab, use Validate. If any mandatory fields have been missed, they will be indicated as seen here. And once the missing fields have been complete, you are now ready for the final step that is mandatory, which is save as incomplete and submit at least one digital image. While one digital image is required, you can have a maximum of 50 photos. Use Add Edit Photos, browse to find these images, On proposed construction entries, the images might be a survey, a satellite image of the property, or even renderings of the proposed construction house plan. Once uploaded, you may use the MLS number assigned to this listing to preview the information before submitting. When you're ready to submit, continue editing. For all proposed construction entries, this warning will appear when you use Submit Listing. And if you are sure this listing is to be in a proposed construction status, Submit Listing. Congratulations on submitting this proposed construction listing. Now, any user of Triad MLS can perform a residential search and select the status Proposed Construction to find your listing. Proposed construction are also available to consumers. Triad MLS users can email these listings to their consumers and include them in the auto notifications. What if your proposed construction listing gets far enough along in construction and there is no buyer at this time and the builder sets a listing price? That proposed construction listing must be edited, changing the status to active. And add edit, use quick modify, locate that listing, select residential, the property type, change the answer, is this proposed construction, from yes to no. This is a very important step. Use the validate function. Now all the mandatory data fields for entering an active listing will come into play. There are 3 tips to remember when moving a proposed construction listing to active. Complete as much information as possible. The more information, the better for your marketing. Pay close attention to your public remarks. These may need modifications. And finally, upload current photos. Now let's take a look at those situations where the listing, the proposed construction listing, goes under contract while in the PC status. When you have a fully executed offer to purchase and contract, you must edit that PC listing within 2 business days. Find that listing in the Add, Edit, Quick Modify list. Leaving the proposed construction still on yes, move to the New Construction Specifics tab. It is at this point that you change pre-sale new construction to yes. Here we go again. Use this very important validate function. And by using validate, the pre-sale contract closed information tab will now appear. Complete the mandatory fields, entering the contract date, answer the lease purchase question, and enter the selling agent's information. Then submit listing. Your proposed construction is now in the proposed construction pending status. Once that PC pending has closed, meaning the new deed has been recorded at the courthouse, you have 3 business days to locate that listing and Add, Edit, change proposed construction to no, use the validate function once more, complete all the mandatory data fields, including the list market date. The system will only allow you to enter a list marketing date that is the same date as the contract date when using pre-sale. The close date cannot be before that contract date. With all the mandatory data fields complete, under the pre-sale contract closed information tab, you're now ready to enter the close date, the close price, if there are any construction overages to report, if the seller has paid any of the buyer's closing expenses, use seller's contributions, and to select the appropriate type of financing used by the buyer. Submit listing. Congratulations on your successful closing of this proposed construction listing. If you have any questions about using proposed construction or entering and editing PC listings, please email helpdesk@triadmls.com.